What's up, everybody? I'm going to be starting part 3 of our 1/18 rock crawler build today. And we got some new parts in here. So we got brass links. Got those in. Those drive shafts. I got a reduction gear. I think it's a 9% reduction gear for the rear. Slow it down a little bit. And then we got front and rear axles. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to get all this stuff out of the packages and everything, and then we'll get started on this thing. Alright guys, before we get started, which I'm going to put this the reduction gear in the rear axle first. But from part 2, we was having a problem with the bumper mounts. Well, so the Injora aluminum rear bumper mount will not fit this truck rock crawler body, so you just have to go with the plastic. But you can put the metal one on the front, and it clips in real nice. I had that stock plastic one in, but it was pretty loose, so we went ahead and did that. So then, I got a new Injora stand, matches the color of the truck. Pretty cool. Alright, so we will get started on this axle here. My lighting is very good. I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Alright. So we're going to put this reduction gear in here. These axles don't come with instructions because they don't plan on you, I guess, taking them apart. So, yeah, but I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. So you got 4 bolts in the back, and that takes your diff cover off. So we're going to pull that, then I'm sure we're going to have to pull the axles out. And then you got 2 bolts to hold your bearing in. So we're going to get this apart here. I might go get me a electric screwdriver today after I get done with this. Alright, and then this shaft right here, just push that out. Actually, that cover just popped right out. And there is our stock gearing. Alright, so now we've got to take our bearings out on the ends, change tips here. I think after we get all this done, I have shocks coming in. They should be here. They might be here tomorrow, I'm not sure yet. And then won't be able to put the drive shafts in today because I don't have a transmission to hook them to. That's another thing on the list we'll be getting. There, the drive shaft just pulls right out. I don't know if these drive shafts are different lengths or if they're the same, but we're getting ready to find out. The next thing I'll be ordering will be probably wheels and tires. These your axle shafts are the same size on the rear end. And yeah, That one just fell right out. I didn't even know it. But yeah, it just, as soon as you pull them axles out, your gearing falls out. Okay. So there's that. I'll take our bearings off. Whoops. A little washer. Okay. This has got the bearings on. You got to take the bearings off this and then put it on your new gear because they didn't come with them. But they just slide right off. Got grease on them, they're a little slick. So put that one on there, that one on that side. Okay. Take some of that grease and rub it on from this stock one. Alright. There's that there. I don't know if that one had a washer on there or not. I don't think so. Don't think so. Oh, there's a stock one. Okay. Got a little tiny bearing there. Alright, slides right in. Whoop. The washer fell off on the outside. Alright, I'm going to get a little extra grease to put on these axles real quick, so I'll be right back. Alright, got some grease on them, greased them up a little bit. Just use some Traxxas grease. Okay, so we are going to put this gear in first, and it comes with two little washers. Slide that right over this, and then we just slide her right in the axle here. Slide that in, get it in there. Alright, and then these little tiny washers, see if I can get focus here, but these go on each end of I guess it's kind of a spur gear, I guess. But this goes on the very end of where the axle shafts go in. So I think I'm going to slide them on the axle shafts already. And I think that'll be a little easier to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in. Just like so. And we'll take that guy, slide it right over the axle shaft. Just like that. Slide it in. Alright. There's that one. And there's our other one. Where did two come from? We got four. Whoops. Slide that guy in. Turn it, spin it until that goes into the slot. And I think we should be good right there. Oop, lost a bearing. Hair on there or something. Alright. We'll go ahead and put these screws in to hold the bearings. Just making sure everything is Turning like it should. I think we're alright. I have these two extra little washers. I believe these might need to go in there for double spacing, so I'm going to go ahead and add them on here real quick. I'm going to go ahead and get these bearings secured and then get these back on, and then we'll get that done, and then let's see, probably start on these brass links. So I'll get this done, and then we'll be back. I won't bother with you with a fast forward video putting them on. Alright guys, I got that all done, bearings back in, got the gears back in, so it spins nice and free. Pretty simple for that. So we're done with our drive shafts. It came with this aluminum steering link, but I'm going to get a brass one, so we're just going to leave that off. We ain't going to put that together today. I'll wait till I get my brass one in, and then we'll put that on. But it comes with all the bolts and everything else you need to put that all together. And this is probably for some of the links too, which we'll be getting to here right now, which we got to put the links all together. So alright, got our links here. Okay, so on these you got to put your little ball joints in. These are brass ones. Little ball joints. These are kind of tough. I believe they do make a tool for these. But what we're going to do, we're going to set it upright on the table there, like so. And then you'll take your rod end, and then if you guys have a 1/10 crawler, I'm sure you got one of these wrenches. I got about 20 of them. But we'll take this end of it. We will set this on top like that, and then we'll put our wrench on the top right there, and then you got to use a little bit of force on it, and then just push down and it'll snap right in, just like so. And then you got to put them all on our tie rods or our links. So alright, so I'm going to get all these put together. This is going to take a little while probably. So, and they came with little tiny rubber bushings. I believe you probably put them on each side of your tie rod ends or your link ends. So I'm going to get all that done, and then we'll get it set up, and then we'll start attaching it to the axles and the chassis. Okay, so we got all the rod ends on the links and everything. I did leave one bare here. I haven't done that one yet, so I can just show you guys what to do. It comes with these little O-rings. The O-rings, you just slip over the threads each side. Oh, I can get it picked up here. Each side, and then just screw your ends on. You got to put a little pressure for it to get started. And start the other one. Some of them are a little tough. And once I get both of them start threaded, I just start twisting both of them. It's about the easiest way I've seen. You could take pliers and grab on, but then you'd scratch up your brass. But you can do it easy enough with your fingers. So we get this. Then you want to make sure after you get them close to being tight, make sure you got them lined up straight, which when we get them bolted in, we can really line them up there. I think that one might be tightened just a little more. Alright, so that's how it's done. Okay, so let's get started on putting these things on. And I guess that'll be all for today, till I get shocks. Then we're the next thing coming in. Now I need to get a transmission so I can hook up the drive shafts. So alright, so the bolts on part 2, I told you to leave the these bolts out here because they go through and tie the links in on the front and back for those. So we're going to flip this guy upside down. You see that there? We'll set it like that for a second. We'll start on the rear axle. So yeah, with the chassis has the bolts for this too, which the axles did come with the same bolts, but we'll use the ones we have already out. So let's see here. We're going to need the back links, which are the longer ones. We're going to need 2 of the straight ones, the longer ones, and then the ones that got the bend to them. Alright. And these bolts, let's see here, they are size, they're 2.5 by 14 millimeter. So we're going to go ahead and we'll put this one in. Okay, so the straight ones will go on the outside bracket here. Get that slid in there. I can't do nothing with my right hand hardly. That slid in. Okay. Tighten that one up. And I'm pretty sure all these injora bolts or screws, whatever you want to call them, I think they're all stainless. We'll find out. I probably won't try to take this thing through much water anyway, but okay, got that one in. Now we'll put our the bent one in. And then this one goes right here. These, I think these are a little shorter. Maybe. Let's test it out. Test it out real quick, see how far it goes. Yep, we're going to use the little shorter ones that the axle came with. And then your bent end goes towards the back. Set that in there real quick. Slide it through. Alright, get that side in. Now we'll do the other side. Let's see. Trying to find the bolts I need. Oh, there they are. They're just hiding under the axle. Alright, so we're going to put the outside one on, the straight one. take our other one here. Put it in. And make sure the bent ones are pointed downwards. If not, that'd be kind of defeat the purpose of the links, or the high clearance links, I guess you would say. That one's a little longer. Let's see here. I'm gonna put this little shorter one in here real quick. That one's a little bit longer. Alright. There we go. Yeah, these are just going to be dangling without the shocks on, but we'll have them here soon. That'll be for the next video, I would believe. Okay, so now we are going to put our axle on. Oh. So, these look a tad long. Look a little long. I always like to size them up here to see if they're going to be the right length or not. So that one, actually these will fit. Sometimes they come with extra bolts that you don't even need at all. And then, I don't know why they do that. I guess just different models and stuff, I guess. Not sure. Alright, so we are going to go, these are going to go, your straight ones are going to go from the outside. Let's see here. These are going to go the outside to the inside of your axles mounts, and then these ones will go to your outside. The bent ones will go to your outside axles like that. Just like so. So I'll go ahead, it's kind of tricky. We'll go ahead and take our bent one, and then to your outside axle there. Alright, these are threaded right there, so yeah, start it. Get it started here. Normally they slide through and the threads are on the other end. Alright, now we can get her. Back it out a little bit. Alright, the air conditioner shut off. It's making a ticking noise. I'm going to have to check it out and see what's going on with it. Or if something's in the fan. Not sure. I'll check that out after we're done with this. Alright. Alright, there's one. One. That's the right size. Yep. Put our second bent one, put it on the outside. Oh yeah, let's start that one. Get it started. I don't know if there's really any good way of doing this, but we will see how this works. I'd say there probably really ain't any easy way of doing it. I guess you could mount them to the axles first and then mount them to your skid plate, transmission holder, whatever you want to call it. Maybe on the front one, maybe we'll try it that way and see how that works. We can try both ways, see which way's easier or faster. Always like the fastest way because I'm impatient. Alright, so your straight links go to the inside. They will go in between these slots right here. Just like so. Right in between there. So we'll get those in. And that side. I believe this one might take the long one. Yep, longer. So this one you can go ahead and kind of start. They don't have threads here. This is tricky. Woo. I'm all backwards here. There we go. Might be easier to put them on the axles first. We'll find out on the front one. Well, there we go. That first one started, and I think we'll be all right. If I can get it. There we go. All right, slide the second one in. There we go. Alright. I do have brass. I'm going to put brass diff covers on too. Then I'll have brass outer housings for this. And then I'll have brass C-hubs and brass outer portals and all that stuff. Alright, rear end's all done. Alright. I don't know how high it'll sit with the shocks on. Okay, so there's that one. This one will, like I said, we'll mount it to the axle first and see how that works. So, like that. So your bent ones will go to your outsides. Outside. There we go. That one's shorter. Maybe. Oh, that one's a little shorter. Slide that in. Was that one threaded too? At the start? I've never seen them have threads at the start. Usually it just slides right through. But I guess it helps it hold in tighter. Alright, there's that one. We'll go ahead and do the other outside also. Let's see. I'm running out of bolts here. Good thing I got a bolt kit. Go with the shorter. Right here, I believe. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and start that in. Slide in there. That one don't want to go slide in. Back a screw out of maybe a little more. Well, I don't think that screw's blocking it, but we'll back it out just a hair more. There we go. I guess it was. All right. Oop. Well, got it unlined on me. Well, keep sliding down on me. All right, I think I got her now. This screwdriver is pretty nice. Got that little swivel end, so you can just set that in your palm, and then you can just spin it real quick. Okay, those links. All right, now we're going to do our straight links. This one, I believe we're going to have to use a nut on the other side because they don't have threads in this one for some reason. Kind of odd. But we have the nuts for that. Came with the chassis kit. And then I have some nuts in the bolt kit too. All right. So let's put that in there. Start that one. Slide it through. That one slid through. And slide this one through, maybe. These things are being a booger. Come on. You can do it. I'll just try thread or through. Oop. There we go, started. There, she popped through. Alright, now we'll get one of our nuts here. Get it started on there. And these things are small. Okay. Take a wrench. Oop, other end. And we'll get that tightened up. I don't want it too tight. Looks like it should work good. All right. Here we go. See if this is any easier. All right. So, front's just like the back. We're going to do our outside links, which is the bent ones. They go towards the inside slot, which is going to be right here. That slot right there. think this is the first time. Well, I don't know. I guess you're supposed to get the chassis kit. Maybe I got a whole nother pack of bolts right here. Maybe that was it. I misplaced them. A lot of bolts. So that one. That one through. All right, that guy. All right, so we got our outside to inside, and then your straight ones go from your inside to the outside. So I think maybe doing the axle first is probably easier, seems like. Seems like it was a little easier. Alright, I really wish I had them shocks. I'm so impatient. I just want to get this thing together so I can drive it. Okay. One more. That through, come on. They're lined, look. They're lined up here. All right. All right. Uh-oh. I thought something was kind of weird. I messed up. But I did put them on right. I put the axle on upside down. Alright, well, I'm not going to video that. I can't believe I just did that. Oh well. I'll get that fixed. Which yeah, I did put the axle upside down. So I thought something was a little funky. Well, I'm not going to video that, guys. I'll get that taken care of. But, yeah, that looks goofy. Alright, there it is, guys. Which they definitely won't be hanging down like that once I get the shocks on. But that gold looks good with that purple, I think. Looks good with the purple. And there's your back view, which I'll have brass. All the brass, give her some weight. Alright, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Like or subscribe.